Hey, hello everybody. It's a little late, but I finally had time to make an update video about the kids. So it's been about a month and a half, 2 months on TRS for the kids. It's been slower than I thought as far as increasing the number of sprays, just because of the reactions that they've had because of the increases. But I want to talk about the side effects that they've had and also the good things that they've had. It's been every 2 weeks that I increased the spray to a half a spray. So it went from a half a spray to 1 spray to 1.5 sprays to 2 sprays. I read that Lyme kids, especially kids, and then especially Lyme kids, are more sensitive to TRS as far as the detox part of it. And so we need to be extra careful, just go extra slow. Everybody has their own reactions, their own kind of rhythm on how fast you detox. So I just wanted to be really sensitive with each kid in their pacing of it. When I increased to 1 spray for Samuel, right away he had diarrhea for 2 days. So I was like, whoa. So I stopped, actually stopped for a day or two. I didn't change anything about his diet. I have no idea why he would have diarrhea, but I read that that is a side effect. Just being sensitive to him, I stopped it for 2 days and I restarted again on 1 spray. And then once I thought he was good, I increased it again to 1.5, and he was fine. So he's been at 1.5. There has been some moments where he's been extremely emotional, and I have no idea why. Like, he didn't lack sleep or anything. My kids are very big sleepers. They sleep 11.5 to 12 hours a night. They're 4 and 7 years old, which I think is a little more than the average kid. But there you go. A little emotional, which I also read that is a big side effect of the detox, because there's emotions that are locked in your brain, and then because of the heavy metals, and then the heavy metals, once they're being removed, they kind of open up the pathways of the brain, and then emotions and memories or whatever get locked, and then suddenly they're unlocked and there's emotion. That's what I've heard. That's what I've seen. My kids are not they're not emotional kids. Like, they don't like have breakdowns. If they're like lacking sleep or something, of course, that's normal. But these were like, whoa, what is going on? And the same thing actually happened with my daughter. When I increased the spray to 1.5, she was actually good. No side effects, but then when I increased it to 2 sprays, she was very emotional. I just stopped for a day or two, then I started again at 1.5, and then after a week after that, she was fine. I increased it to 2 sprays, but she's been doing good. So the results. The results are in. Victoria, like I mentioned on my 2-week video, her neck is still good. She doesn't complain about it. One other thing, this might not sound like a big deal, but it was actually a big deal for me as a mother. Victoria has long hair, about the hair, and when I brush it, she is so sensitive since probably for the last like 2 or 3 years. Just every time I brush, every knot that I hit, and I buy a very soft brush where it actually doesn't really go through her hair. Every knot I hit, it's like, oh, like she almost cries. It's like, I'm barely touching you, and it's like a frustration for me. But about a month ago, I noticed, so when she was taking TRS about for a month, I noticed that she wasn't really complaining and whining about her hair. Me brushing her hair, and it's not like I cut her hair, so there would be less knot, but her hair is still growing. And then, I didn't say anything, because sometimes when you say stuff, kids oh yeah, it does hurt. I asked her maybe a week later, I said, so it seems like when I brush your hair, it doesn't hurt as much. She's like, yeah, it's good, I'm fine. I'm like, okay. So that's really continuing. So that was actually one of the side effects, the good results of TRS, that she's less sensitive in her hair with me brushing her hair, and she continues to be that way. So I'm really happy about that. So I think I'm going to get like a regular brush that will really brush her hair so I don't have to deal with all those knots. For her also, one of the effects, her head still spins every now and then. She still has a big fatigue in her body, but she's complaining less about what I would like to call is like feeling slimed, just like bleh, just just sick, just muscles hurting. She's complaining less about that. So I don't know if she's just in a good period again. This kind of stuff I like to observe over a period of time. How's it going? Because with Lyme's it goes up and down. For my son, who's 4 years old, so he is right now on 1.5 sprays a day. Still really a low amount, but even when we think about the spray, we can't think, oh, it's just 1/2 or 1, because it's really a lot that's going into the body. So it's working very efficiently. So before, Samuel, he used to complain just about every single morning. The first thing that he says when he wakes up is, Mama, I don't feel good. It's just like, it's like something you really don't want to hear from your son every morning because you feel just helpless in what to do. So I hear that a lot less. So that brings so much joy to my heart to see that he's doing better. He still struggles with big fatigue in the morning. Sometimes it just like boop, it's like the light, it turns off, just like my daughter, the light turns off and it's just like I'm just tired, I'm exhausted, but it's just part of the Lyme. There's nothing I can really do about that. So overall I feel that there's positive things that I'm seeing with the kids. I have started TRS. I finished 3 months on antibiotics for Lyme, and so I decided to do my treatment after my antibiotics. So I'm on TRS. I'm 1 spray a day. I will increase it to 2 sprays a day after 2 weeks, and we'll see. So just real quick, a rundown of my symptoms that I'm dealing with every day is extreme fatigue. I need to rest about twice a day, just lay down, disconnect from everything, even in my mind. Pain in my body. Normally it's all the way up here in my shoulders, down my arm. My fingers are really weak, where I used to be able to like break stuff, that I just break stuff in half, just like my fingers are very weak. I sleep pretty bad. I need to make sure I get 9 hours of sleep because I wake up a lot during the night. Some nights are better than others, but I usually wake up 4 or 5 times a night, which, as long as I'm getting a long amount of sleep, then it's okay. I'm good for the morning. So I am excited to start TRS and see where it's gonna lead me. I'm very observant, of course, with my own body and of course with the kids, just to see the progression. I have a calendar where I document everything because brain fog all the time. I can't remember a lot of stuff. Of course, there's normal mommy brain stuff, brain fog, but this goes a little above and beyond. Another symptom is my body is always cracking. So that's our story. So this is my beginning of TRS, and this is also the kids' 1.5, 2 months update. So I will keep in touch and tell you how it goes. See ya!